Have you ever stopped to think about how an heir of one of the most powerful families in the mage world faces her own dilemmas and challenges? Rin Tohsaka, the protagonist of Fate's Stay Night, is a perfect example of how the weight of family traditions and the quest for power can shape someone. I am Rin Tohsaka, and today I'll share a bit about my journey. Since I can remember, I was prepared to carry the legacy of the Tohsaka. Our family is one of the founders of the Holy Grail Wars, and that's no small feat. What does it mean? Basically, I have to maintain a balance between being an excellent student, a master of magic, and dealing with all the expectations that this weight brings. I've always been taught to be strong and to focus on perfection. My father, Tokiomi, left me this responsibility before he died, and since then it feels like I owe him and our lineage a debt. And in the midst of all this, I still had to learn to survive in a brutal war. My summoning of Archer in the 5th Holy Grail War was somewhat frustrating at first. I expected a saber-class servant, but things didn't go as planned. Our relationship had its ups and downs in the beginning. We fought, we argued, but over time I realized he was the ally I needed. In a war where betrayal lurks around every corner, trusting your servant is essential. And Archer, with all his arrogance and mystery, turned out to be a valuable companion. With each battle, our connection strengthened, and I could see that, despite all our misunderstandings, we were on the same side. It would be impossible to talk about fate without mentioning Shirou emiya. Our relationship was marked by constant bickering and moments of collaboration. At first, he was just a naive rookie, someone I could easily dismiss. But as time passed, I realized Shirou had an unwavering determination, something I couldn't ignore. He surprised me countless times with his courage, even when everything seemed lost. Despite circumstances often putting us on opposing paths, there was a mutual respect that couldn't be denied. Looking back, I see how tradition and legacy shaped much of my life. Being the heir of the Tohsaka meant that I had to be strong all the time, even when I didn't want to. I had to prioritize magic above all else, even if it meant sacrificing my own desires. And that weight was hard to bear. I struggled to hide my weaknesses, to be admired by my peers as an exemplary student, but inside, I battled with the fear of failure. But even with all that burden, I never stopped being competitive. There's something inside me that drives me to always want more, to prove that I am worthy of the name I carry. And it was this desire that led me to make tough decisions throughout the Holy Grail War. Many times, I found myself torn between cold logic and the desire to protect those I love. It wasn't easy, but those decisions shaped who I am today. Now, after everything I've lived through, I find myself wondering, was the path I took the right one? What would have happened if I had made different choices? If I had, for example, rejected my family's inheritance and followed a freer path? These are questions that perhaps I will never have a definitive answer to. What do you think?